What is up, everybody? Dan and the Fireman here. Before we jump in the video, there is a site-wide sale on Cardo for 20% off for International Female Riding Day, or Cinco de Mayo, or May the 4th be with you. But 20% off using the link in the description or code DDTF. I like using the Pack Talk Edge, and you can actually see what is out here. But let's go ahead and jump into this video and see what happens. All right, blinker does not give you the right to change lanes without looking. No. Hey, look at that open lane pattern. You guys see that? Open lane pattern. Our lane is moving. This white BMW is probably going to be the one that switches out, or the vehicle in front of him switches into our lane. But let's see. There it is. So when you're driving, you start to recognize just driving a car. A lot of you guys aren't even riding yet. Write in the comments if you're even riding yet and you're watching this before you get a bike. So if you can drive a car, you'll see this in your car. And then you can start planning and start practicing your skill set. So when I see this when I'm driving my car, I just stay staggered with that white vehicle until I get kind of close, like right here, and then I accelerate just a little bit so that I'm side by side at least. Because I'm going to hit their peripheral vision before they even do a head check. They're going to constantly stay looking forward. That's what people do. And then they make changes, or they'll look at their side mirrors, never their blind spots. So if all of a sudden I pass into their peripheral, then they, oh, somebody's there. I'm not going to switch lanes. That's my hope, and if not, I'm going to accelerate because I got a V6 dad van, and so I could probably do that. But practice in your car. Good job applying the brakes or rolling off the throttle. Allow them in. You're not going to win that fight. Now, you want to have a better, once they take that over, position yourself once again into a new position for safety. So you have good line of sight right here. You have an escape path as a lane splitting option, and your space cushion. Maintain your space cushion. So stay back here, but be off to the sides. So you're going to have to reevaluate, redo your positioning. Almost dumped the bike. Okay. It's a yellow. Now it's going to be a red. Why are you waiting to brake? Okay. This is a great example. If you're an experienced rider, it's like, shouldn't have done that. But if you're a brand new rider, you might not know your total stopping distance yet. So this is a good example for two different reasons. First, it's a green light. It's a stale green light. It just turned yellow. Okay, we're going 70. We weren't paying attention. We see yellow. We should start slowing down right here. 70, this total stopping distance between us and the intersection, start downshifting, start applying some progressive braking. Start applying the brakes. So squeeze, 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 squeeze until you can get to where you need to be. So he's downshifting a lot right there, but he shifted like 4 or 5 gears to like almost first or second, probably second. He was probably in 4th or 5th. Yeah, was he? Let's take a look. So he's in 5th gear. So 5th gear, down, down, down to 2nd gear. You just removed all of your engine braking. Now, you're going to have like a really hard engine braking right now. All of a sudden, it's going to be like RPMs. But do it nice and gentle and slowly. Okay, don't do it all at once. Go into the 4th, then practice your friction zone, throttle control, then go downshift again, practice, downshift again, while also applying a little bit of brakes. It's very important to practice this. So we're getting up to here, not enough total stopping distance. It's a red light. So now, let's say you're a brand new rider, and you're like, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to stop in time. So it's very dangerous to go through. So kind of do what he did here, where you're trying to stop as best you can. You're not going to be able to stop in time. So instead of dumping the bike, which would have resulted into a crash, you're going 25 at this point. Start looking both ways. Find an escape. An escape might not be straight. It might be doing a sharp left right here. Might be doing a sharp right here. It could be going straight. But don't slam the brakes to crash because you're going to get into a red light. Laws themselves, sure, whatever. The law, might get a ticket, whatever. I'd rather not crash. So I'm going to go through. And then I'm going to start thinking to myself, I need to do better with my total stopping distance, my braking, my shifting. This was embarrassing. I got really lucky. Thankfully, no cops are here to see it. So once he's here, don't just stop. Go. Get out of there. Now we're safe again. Now, if no cops are there, hey, no ticket. If there was a cop there, accept the ticket because you messed up. But yeah, practice your total stopping distance, start downshifting correctly. If you're not able to stop in time, do not slam the brakes so that you have a low side or dump the bike. Slow down enough to what now you're buying yourself some time to look and see, oh my gosh, hopefully nobody's going. And then go. And then learn from that. Thankfully, I've never done this. Rainy day close call on my Ninja 650. Good riding posture. All right, so somebody's coming out. We want to slow it down. We didn't slow down one bit. Now we're trying. Okay, this is another great example. Another great example. So we're coming up to here. We see this. The guy's in our lane. Let's start slowing it down here while we have a lot of time, while we have a really good total stopping distance. Start slowing it down. So downshift. You might not even have to hit the brakes. Just downshift a gear. Maybe apply a little bit. And then you're going to go from, let's say you're rolling 50, we're going to go like 35, 40. It's still going to buy us some good time. So we get up to here. There we go. Now we started to apply you saw the little shake? So we applied a little bit too much brake because we waited to the last second. And guess what? We lost a little bit of traction because of the wet road. So you saw the little shake. So that's the tires losing traction. Right there. Tires lost a little bit of traction. So now we're not going to be able to stop in time. Our total stopping distance, once again, is not enough. So the distance with perception reaction and braking distance equals total stopping distance. If we perceive late, we have less time. If we react late, we have less time. Braking distance is dependent on your speed. So we need to be able to perceive and react quicker. So just in case we couldn't do it, we couldn't stop in time, we're on motorcycles which are nimble. Guess what? Brand new escape path. Right there. Okay, so we're going to have to find another escape path because braking's not going to solve the problem. So we're going to have to jump into a different red stage maneuver, and we're going to have to switch over and pass them, and that's perfectly fine. I'd rather do that than crash. So great job escaping. Notice how we're not fully in the other lane. If there's nobody coming, go ahead and take the whole lane. But if there is somebody coming, this is exactly what you can do. Hopefully the other vehicle is going to scoot over just a little bit, so that maybe they're riding the line so you don't get hit. So how do we get ourselves out of this situation or not be in that situation? Start slowing it down back here. Start slowing it down back here. Once you see that vehicle pop into your lane, you do know that they're going to have to get speed to be able to go with the flow of traffic. Cars at fault? Sure, cars at fault for doing this. Our safety and our lives are our responsibility. At no point is anybody else responsible for you. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to come save you. That's why we have to rescue ourselves. It's why we have to take our own responsibilities and be disciplined enough to be able to take care of things. And then to not just blame other people, but also be like, you know what? I could have done better. I could have done better. And right now, we could do better. There's options. And since we have control over our own actions, our own responsibilities, guess what? Whenever you succeed on those, it gives you a lot of confidence that you can handle other things. It builds resilience. Anger is a good emotion. All emotions are good. Anger is a signal that something wasn't right. Now, is it the car coming out wasn't right? Yeah. Was your skill set not also right? Possibly. So it's a good signal to be like, hey, I got to practice something.
That's right.
Just like happiness is a signal that, hey, maybe we should do more of this. Sadness is a signal, hey, I got to do some grief work now. Every single emotion has an action attached to them.
Cool. And
football stadiums, Karen squares off against bikers to protect her safe space.
What's that?
I'll move my car so you guys can have the space. How about that?
Oh, you don't have to.
No. I parked here on purpose not to have a lot of parking around.
Oh, that's why we parked there too, so.
There's plenty of parking spaces right here. I don't know why they didn't go there. I don't like parking in this little area where they are. I like my own space.
I see that.
They're like, what?
She's got a very expensive Subaru.
You let her do her own thing.
I'm worried about my
Down
motorcycle.
parking.
So she set her boundary. She wanted a space that had no other vehicles near her. She did that on purpose. She's not telling them they need to move their bikes. She's removing herself from the situation, so she's within her boundaries, and she's not telling anybody to do anything else. Go for it, lady. Okay.
Space.
What's that? A
Down
motorcycle.
parking space. Down
Motorcycle.
parking space.
You sure about that? Come here all the time. We're season ticket holders. You always, that's
You know
your
what? We are
motorcycle.
too.
Nah, we don't need to have this argument. She was doing her own thing. Just let her do her own thing. Let her switch. Move on.
What was that all about?
JK Weekly.
Biker admitted he was definitely too careless. He had never ridden this road before, which was the main reason he went against traffic.
Oh, no.
You okay?
Kind of his fault. Left leg, though. Left leg.
That was a
Can you
no-go.
close your eyes for me
He's moving it.
for a second? Okay. Open them up.
Checking his pupils.
Oh, good. Can I take your helmet off?
So she must have some
Dude, holy Christ.
knowledge. So closing your eyes and then they become they shouldn't be dilated because it's bright out. They should be constricted. Dilation isn't typically an issue. If they're unequal, one's dilated, one's constricted, then you have an issue because then you have a brain issue. So right here, we're coming up. Oh, crap. So we have an angular incident. So the car is going right into his possible leg right there. So left leg injuries. This is how amputations typically happen. And once again, the rescue pack's on sale. Tourniquet high and tight. Right on the femoral artery. So, cinch it down as best you can and then twist the windlass a couple times until it's real tight. That's going to help with that. But you also might have some major bleeding just from lacerations. So there's the impact. And you got to remember, so head injury symptoms, spinal cord injury symptoms. It's a high mechanism. It ripped his pants right there in the middle. So it blew out his pants. So he probably hit his genitalia on the handlebars and it ripped the pants. If it's ripping the pants, it's probably ripping flesh. Thank you, Knives. I appreciate the donation.
That was a
Can
no-go.
you close your eyes
So she wants him to close his eyes so she can check his pupils.
for me?
Okay, I'm more concerned about major bleeds. So I'm gonna be grabbing first. I'm gonna get consent. I'm like, hey, buddy, can I check you for any bleeding? There you go. And then so what I'm doing is I'm going down his legs, and I'm like feeling underneath too, and I have gloves on, and I look at my hands, and if I see it's like almost purple because I use blue nitrile gloves, for anything that's not like it shouldn't, no color should be there, no blood. But if I'm checking, I'm like, oh, I got blood, so I'm bleeding on the guy's bleeding on the leg. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna pack the wound, pressure, whatever it is. I'm gonna check the next leg, check the arm, same thing. Check in the back of the neck, and I'm gonna get underneath his back and do the same thing. I'm gonna roll my hand underneath his back, and I'm gonna say, hey, can I check your chest? Unzip the front, and then check the chest, see if there's any major bleeds. If there's no bleeding, hey, good job. If it's all internal, nothing you can do about it. And then after that, so let's go take a look at this head injury symptoms. You can understand if they have a head injury symptom by just asking them questions. Your first question is your baseline question. What's your name? Do you know what day it is? And if we're in America, ask them who the president of the United States is right now. Because some people roll back 12 years and they say, or like 20, 30 years, and they're like, Reagan. It's like, no. So you can tell their memory's still rebooting. So there you go. Name, age, and then president or where they're at. So you don't know their age. And then you're going to ask them again in 5 to 10, 15 minutes. And if it changes, it gets worse, they start slurring their speech. Because when you hear them talk, are they slurring their speech? Is it enunciated well? Are they coughing? Like you start to understand, okay, something might be going on. And then if all of a sudden in 10, 15 minutes, they're like slurring their speech and they weren't the first question, it's trending bad, okay? So it could be a head injury, could be a spinal cord injury, Could be a shock symptom. Now, she wants to take his helmet off
Closed for a second.
after this assessment.
Okay, open it up. Okay, both your eyes are dilated. That's good. Can I take your helmet off?
Okay, so he's able to speak, means he has an open airway. The only reason why you take a helmet off is if they're not breathing and it's a full face helmet. That's it. It has to be a full face helmet and they're not breathing. The reason why you don't want to take it off is just let the professionals take it off. They have liability insurance and whatnot. They know how to do it. They have multiple people helping out. They'll take it off. Let EMTs and paramedics take it off. If they are not breathing and they have a 3/4 helmet or a half helmet or no helmet, well, if they have no helmet, you don't take it off. But if it's a 3/4 helmet, they have an open airway. It's just that they're not breathing, so you can breathe for them. Leave the helmet on. Just leave the helmet on. So try not to take the helmet off. There's no real reason to take it off. If they feel like, oh, I'm claustrophobic, just undo the strap so it's not up on their neck. Just undo the strap. That's it. But leave the helmet itself on. Your main goal is for stopping major bleeds. That's really all you can do. Okay, keep them warm. And then make sure traffic is controlled because we are still in the roadway. All right, feudal. Remember, Rescue 20 for a discount this weekend. So somebody came out. So when you see those accidents, and then you see this, you're like, this is nothing. Lobo, okay? Good job. Good job with the swerve. Saw it. It was an open lane pattern. A dedicated open lane pattern we're going to get merged into right here. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, they're driving over the line. Are they going to switch into our lane now? Because they're terrible? They can't color within the lines? Yep. Yeah, that's true. It's a warning sign. So get away from that person. You don't need to do that. Oh, they're getting back in your lane too. Get out of there. Don't punch the mirror. Just get out of there. Just move. The biker made the right choice and got away from the bad driver. It's that simple. No need for road rage. But you hit the mirror. I heard it. Motorcycle drop leaving Machu Picchu. Look at that rooster. You guys thought I was going to say something else, huh? It's big and girthy. Oh, a little drop the bike. Oh, don't get run over. You don't have to honk. We all saw it. Put the side stand down. Dropped it, doing a rookie turn. Hey, guess what? With the Smart Rider motorcycle training drills, you can practice your U-turns and figure eights and everything in a fun way in a parking lot. Link in the description for that. And if you were talking on your Cardo Pack Talk edges, you know, you could have just said, hey, buddy, I dumped the bike instead of honking the horn, hoping he's going to see you. So there's that sale, May 4th and 5th for 20% off. Link in the description. Just use my link. You'll get it on the 4th and 5th, site-wide. So practice. Man, we did a few... Sorry, I got some complaints last time that I've been just promoting stuff. But these are solutions to problems that we're seeing. Nice little U-turn. But the car got hit because he had to slam the brakes because you did a dumb U-turn in the middle of the road. It was a good-looking one. Just, you're causing issues, though. Causing issues. What do we got here? Oh, crashed bike. Time to rescue. But, once again, if we do our assessment real quick, he is standing. That means his blood pressure is working, his heart is working, his lungs are working because he's breathing. He's not tripoded down. He's not bending over like, I can't breathe. His legs are working, so that means the bones are intact. His muscles must be intact. He's putting weight on both legs the same way instead of leaning onto one leg. Because the other leg's injured. His arm, yeah, you could have a collarbone break, and he's kind of holding it up like that. So that's why we have a triangular bandage in the bag. But he's giving a thumbs up or flipping us off. I can't tell with this. So that means his brain is working a little bit. So overall, he's doing fine. His bike's not. He's waving, so that's good. Yeah, he's a walking wounded. In triage, he's a green. Not Nothing crazy. And EMS, or I'm sorry, and cops were on scene already. The cop was on scene already. So we're good. You don't have to stop if you don't want to. Yellowstone National Park on 11,000-mile trip across U.S. and Canada. Nice. No. Moto Stars? One sec, Moto Stars. The end card is a little too early. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. I'd be freaking out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because I don't know if they're used to motorcyclists. They might be used to cars, but oof, it's a big boy. All right, guys, with that said, we're going to be moving into the next video on this live stream, which I do typically Thursdays around noon Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time. But like I said, with that said, ride safe, be safe, grab yourself a slice of pizza, and I'll see you later.